What makes a villain truly great? Is it their power? Is it their intelligence? Is it how evil they are? Because Homelander has all of that. He is powerful, he is intimidating, he is cruel, but those things alone are not what make him such a great villain. What makes Homelander stand out is the feeling he creates every time he appears on screen. The second he enters a scene, everything changes. The air feels heavier. The tension rises. You instantly start wondering what he is going to do, what he is thinking, and whether somebody is about to say the wrong thing and pay for it. That is what makes him special. A lot of villains are entertaining. A lot of villains are memorable. But very few villains can create this much tension just by standing in a room and looking at somebody. That is why Homelander works. You do not just watch him, you brace for him. And that is why Homelander is such a great villain. The first reason Homelander is such a great villain is simple. Every time he is on screen, there is tension. That comes from unpredictability. With most characters, you can usually guess the range of what they are going to do. With Homelander, you cannot. He might stay calm. He might make a joke. He might lash out over something small. There is always this feeling that the scene could go wrong at any second. That is what makes him feel so dangerous. The tension is not about whether he can win. We already know he can. The tension comes from whether he is about to snap. And that is a much more interesting kind of fear. Another reason Homelander works is because he is not just evil, he is unstable, insecure, emotionally damaged, and unbelievably powerful all at the same time. That combination is what makes him terrifying. If he were only strong, he would not be that interesting. If he were only crazy, he would feel random. If he were only evil, he would feel flat. But Homelander feels like a real psychological threat. He wants to be loved, feared, admired, and obeyed all at once. And the second he feels disrespected, ignored, or challenged, the entire energy of the scene changes. That is what makes him more than just a villain. He feels untethered. Another thing that makes Homelander such a great villain is what he represents. On the surface, he looks like the perfect superhero. He has the cape, the image, the smile, and the patriotic branding. He is presented like the person people should trust the most. But underneath that image is somebody completely corrupted. That contrast is one of the smartest things about the character. Homelander is not scary because he hides behind darkness. He is scary because he hides behind the image of a hero. That is much more disturbing. He is basically the nightmare version of the superhero symbol. He looks like hope, but he feels like fear. And that makes him stand out from a lot of generic villains. Now, of course, none of this works nearly as well without Antony Starr. His performance is a huge reason why Homelander has become such a memorable villain. Because Starr does not play him like a cartoon. He plays him with control. That is what makes the performance so good. He can go from fake warmth to intimidation to rage in a matter of seconds, sometimes without even raising his voice. Sometimes just with a stare, a smile, or a pause. That is why it feels like Antony Starr completely disappears into the role. Not because he is actually Homelander in real life, but because the performance is so convincing that it stops feeling like acting. He makes Homelander feel real. And when a villain feels real, they become much more disturbing. Now here is my controversial take. Homelander is more interesting than almost every hero on The Boys. That does not mean he is a better person. It does not mean he is right. And it definitely does not mean people should admire him. It means he is the most compelling presence on the show. When Homelander is on screen, the show becomes electric. He takes over the energy of the scene every single time. He is more intense, more unpredictable, and more psychologically layered than almost anyone around him. And honestly, that is a huge reason why The Boys works as well as it does. Without Homelander, the show loses a lot of its tension, its fear, and a big part of its identity. He is not just the villain of the story, he is the engine of it. Another reason Homelander is such a great villain is because of what he does to everyone else. Great villains do not just affect the plot, They affect the behavior of every character around them. Homelander does that constantly. When he is in a scene, people become nervous, careful, fake, and calculated. Even strong characters feel smaller around him. That matters because it shows that his power is not just physical. His presence alone changes the room. And when a villain can do that, you know they are working on a different level. At the end of the day, Homelander is such a great villain because he hits on every level. He is powerful. He is unpredictable. He is psychologically unstable. He hides behind the image of a hero, and he is played by an actor who makes all of that feel disturbingly real. That is why Homelander is not just a good villain, he is a great one. And honestly, he is one of the best television villains in recent years. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and I've got more videos like this on the way.